Hello folks, welcome to the third episode of Legacy Code Hero. So in the first episode we were looking at DLOpen because we found out that driver is essentially a shared object, and we found a flag that I said, oh, I don't understand what these do. So RTLD global, what it says is that the symbols defined in this library are going to be available to other libraries that the application loads. That's what it means, essentially. On the other hand, if we use RTLD local, it means that the symbols are private to the application. So if the application loads another library, that other library won't be able to call or reference any of the symbols of the driver, let's say, the custom driver that I'm working on. And we can find about that very easily. For example, let's look at the source code, and you're gonna see that it has like a qualifier here before the type definition here for the gamepad driver that I'm working on. So this is defined by the X protocol, and what it means behind scenes, it's pound defined, which says if you're using GCC, it uses the attribute visibility default. It means it's going to be visible. On the other hand, any other variable, which, for example, you use a static, like this one, stub, which stores the fake name, let's say, of the driver. This one is not going to be available for reading. And we can use this utility, which is called nm, which stands for name. And I'm grabbing just for all the variables which match gamepad. And we can see that the gamepad driver has the letter D uppercase, which means that it's in the data section of the module or library, let's say, and it's public, let's say. On the other hand, there's this other variable, module version gamepad, which is also static, but has a lowercase d, which means it's still in the data section, but it's not visible. So that's what controls the visibility. A variable which is static means that it's private. Let's say in the context of OOP, that's what you kind of have when you're working with C. So this is something really nice to know, because it could be a mistake, for example, not to use the export for those things that you want to make visible. Now, functions by default in C, they're visible, but variables are not. So you have to be careful with that. So usually whenever you're reading driver code, whenever you see this export, it means that this variable or function is going to be available to other libraries that you load from the application. In this case, the application will be the XServer itself. So this is what I wanted to share to clarify this from the first episode. This is a very short video this time. So I just wanted to focus on just this one aspect. And this is important. When you realize that you don't understand something, you take your time and you can look it up and look information. If you cannot find it and it's really tough, it's okay. Use AI to ask, but try to do it yourself first so that you can find out that you are able to understand these things on your own. And I think that has a lot of value. I know AI gives you a lot of speed to do things, but sometimes it's also important to understand. So when you're an expert, all right, you can use AI all you want. Most of the code you can understand right away because maybe it's very predictable for you when you just look at it. But when you're learning, when you're starting out, maybe you want to go at a slower pace. I'm just saying this. Maybe you just want to go slower, try to understand things, and as you gain experience, yeah, sure, use AI if you have to. That's right. Okay, so guys, like I said, this is brief, this is short. I hope you learned something from this short video. See you next time.